All right, Top Gun Options members, let's get airborne with their weekly debrief. Welcome aboard, man. Just getting off, again, up at 5, conference calls. As everybody's panicking, we're standing here, man, opening pockets and letting the money drop in there. It's kind of, when I initially went to Wall Street, up in Chicago, and hey man, what are you doing? I do all this stuff. Come up here. We're a $3 billion volatility arbitrage firm. We want you to help run it. What? Aren't you smart people? So like on a opening squawk call this morning, multi-billion-dollar hedge fund managers asking me for trading advice. It's the end of days. I do use the self-deprecating humor a little bit, but on some level, I do think like that. I'm like, isn't everybody kind of thinking kind of like this, or is it just me? So, folks, it's easy. It's very, 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 very easy. Yeah, David, the afterburner trading thing's awesome. It's very, very easy to make money in an up market. You have to be an idiot not to make money in an up market. This is where you cut your teeth as a trader, as an investor, and this is where you make your life. So, some administrative items. Tomorrow at the closing bell, lifetime memberships are going up to 20K. There's your official announcement. They were 12.5 a year ago. Then they went to 15. They briefly held at 17.5 earlier in the week, and we're done with that. That's $20,000 because of just the value people are getting here. Might be launching a couple services. Steve, slow day yesterday. Only made 60 grand. I love that. I'm gonna screenshot that one in a second here. So you guys know about it. You can email me or Susie to get the wire instructions for that. We might be adding a couple new services, man. There's some smart dudes out there that are like, man, can I be a part of your team? I'm like, again, the whole me sitting here going, dude, if it's the zombie apocalypse and you guys aren't printing money, you're in trouble. Jeff, slow day for me, 500,000. New members, I'll welcome some of you aboard. Our PayPal and our payment processors both went down yesterday. You know why? I got 2 panicked phone calls. They thought it was fraud. They're like, are you Pablo Escobar? What is going on? So we got to throttle back, and we're actually just taking people directly to Chase because PayPal's like, we don't believe you're doing this business. I'm like, by the way, you might not have a job by the end of the day, so I am not going to use PayPal anymore because you guys might be gone. Anyway, I'll welcome aboard new members, tell you where to go. Hey, we got full throttle training tonight at 7. We're going to be talking about iron condor. I love, how about me? I love how I've rejiggered the training here to actually fit what's going on with the market, because if we bottom out here and we start moving sideways, guess what tactics we're going to start employing? Iron condors. I absolutely love it. Yeah, new call sign Pablo. It was interesting. Both I was on the phone with these people for 30 minutes each in both companies, showing them what I'm doing. And at the end of the one, the risk management guy at our processing company is like, how do I sign up? I'm like, hey man, why don't you process the people that are trying to get in now? You can't make this shit up. So sent out a text earlier today. Just want to make sure everybody got it about the EWZ puts. And remember, when you logged in and saw that on the screen, there wasn't any pricing in those puts. So I actually was like, I could do a cash secured put right now. And then I'm like, no, that's going to confuse people. And then 90,000 people lit up in the chat box. The text actually said, buying these puts at the open. Vertical head nod. Everybody understands that, right? And we also fired out the email that said that. Let me just make sure I get the email up so you can see what it looks like. Where? Right here. So sent out this was pre-market. The email and the text fired. Everything's working fine with our text and email alert system. And remember, somebody was like, I'm not on your text thread. I'm like, yeah, I know you're not, because you're not paying for it. The regular texts for the briefs are going out as planned, but the personal on our group me, and I just added Possum. I'm very worried about something. So listen up. I'm worried about how many Air Force guys are getting on my group meet group. Where's all my Navy and Marine guys? And hell, I'll even take an Army guy instead of another Air Force guy. But welcome aboard, Chad, call sign Possum. I think he was an A-10 pilot, so he's the next guy on there. But I get these. I mean, the Air Force guys are barely on our side. I don't know what's going on over there. So, Coast Guard, submariner. There you go. Hey, Doc's in there. Doc, yeah, he's a flight surgeon guy. So, all right. Select group, semi-toner. I'm still getting. You wouldn't believe this Facebook Messenger I got last night from a dude. S16. Speaking of guys, S16 guy. Like, whatever. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm ignoring this stuff now. Tomorrow is official. It is going up to $20,000. If I haven't talked to you today, Chad just got in this morning. 2 other guys got in this morning. It's going up to 20 grand. I've told you that some of the billionaire dudes are like, you're an idiot, man. I work out drug deals with those guys. I get a lot of good intelligence. I get good stuff. But the one guy, his quote 2 weeks ago, when I'm like, maybe $5 grand or $8 grand or something like that. He's like, I'd pay you 100 for your information. I'm like, okay. I'm obviously not charging you guys $100,000 for what I do, but yeah, Possum. At least I don't drive Eagles. Goose is up here, not the dead goose. Goose is up. Old Viper guy will fly in your Hornet Wing anytime. JR, Army Helo pilot here and proud member. Welcome, JR. Go Army, beat Navy, right? All right, here we go. Let's go. Here's how bad things are. I got a email. Where is it? Johnston Murphy. I ordered some here's how the world's changed. I was at a hockey tournament with Jack over President's Day. What was that, a month ago? In Tampa, and all the outlets in Tampa. I got some nice new shoes. I got Jack some shoes, and of course the guy got to upsell you at the registry. He's like, well, you need saddle soap with those shoes, or else. I'm like, why didn't you make them so you don't need whatever? I got an email this morning that says your order's been canceled. Order update, order canceled, cancel confirmation. I got on the phone this morning. I called them. I'm like, hey man, I didn't cancel that order. They're like, yeah, we're canceling orders. We're not in business. I'm like, what? I'm not shitting you that this happened this morning. I'm like, hey, whoa, I didn't cancel this morning, this order, man. I paid for that. And the lady's like, yeah, we don't even know if we're going to have a job soon. I'm like, oh my God, have a blessed day, and God, please bless you. This is getting very, 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 very bad. It's incredible. Let's talk through some things. We watched this live yesterday. Oh, and I will apologize for GoToWebinar. So yesterday there was something wrong, and it wasn't me because these headsets worked, and I plugged in my landline headsets. They didn't work. So I had ended the thing, came back on, and the comms work fine. So when you end a session and restart one, it didn't restart the recording. So yesterday's accelerated retirement wasn't recorded, and of course it was the one that I would have framed and lived in infamy. Why? We watched this live, this interview with Bill Ackman. I will never forget this moment. So it's just absolutely. And I told my afterburner traders last night, my buddy down in a big building in DC. Actually, he's not in a big building in DC. Said, dude, Larry Kudlow called Bill Ackman yesterday and took him to the woodshed on behalf of the president. Donald Trump ain't calling Bill Ackman. That would have gotten out. I know for a fact Larry Kudlow called Bill Ackman, and Bill Ackman later in the day on Twitter and all sorts of but in the interview, folks, if you listen to his interview, he did say 50 times. He's like, I'm buying Hilton. I'm a buyer of stocks. But then he went on to speak the truth. Watch this interview. He was right. Walking it back is cowardice. And a lot of idiots on my Facebook thread are doing the whole, well, he's just short stocks, and that's why he was trying to talk people into the dirt. The same idiots who accuse me of doing that. I'm like, what? Talking stocks into the dirt so I can make money? Oh, and by the way, you don't know that for every buyer there's a seller. You're an idiot. You deserve your 401k to be at zero. if you don't get it. Ignorance will get you killed. But Bill Ackman, I wouldn't have sat there in that interview and said that, but he was probably telling the truth. If he was short stocks, folks, he's lying. He could be charged with market manipulation, right? That I believe him when he said he was buying stocks. He said, I bought whatever it was, Hilton at this price. I bought some more today. I'll probably buy some more tomorrow as it goes down. He's like, you have got to watch this interview if you didn't watch it live. This was CNBC has been on the front lines of history with like Rick Santelli when he did his famous rant. That was a Tea Party moment. There it is right there. So you got to watch this. All right, here we go. I got a call this morning, and as soon as I got up, actually I got up because of this phone call. This is hitting very close to home. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Let me answer this one. Christ almighty. All right. So I know I know 3 people now because I didn't know this other person went to this event too because they're trying to, and this is awful, they're trying to keep it quiet. They were at the damn Mar-a-Lago party. This headline's a lie. It's not, they're not lying on purpose. It's just incorrect information. And I guarantee you it's more than 22. She told me this morning, she's on the phone with her. This is the lady who dated the finance minister of Brazil for 14 years. They were engaged. She was an attorney in Brazil. She now lives in Fort Lauderdale. If you're on my Instagram or Facebook, that's the people who own that 88-foot Pershing yacht. One of the finest people I've met in my entire life. 22 people right now in that. So this dude right here, folks, that is the Brazilian president's press secretary. There's at least 5 pictures with him with Donald Trump and Mike Pence. That dude right there is infected. And he was infected. I can't believe the Secret Service. What? Half of the presidential party that met with Trump and partied their ass off at Mar-a-Lago. Brazil's top security official is the 15th member to test positive. The dude's 72, General Augusto Heleno. Why am I getting bearish even more on Brazil? There is no bottom. You want to talk about social unrest, you talk about Brazil. I told you my sit rep today. Last time I was in Brazil, I landed in Sao Paulo. I was giving a keynote out in Santos, out on the water. We drove past favelas on the highway. They were up in the hills. I'm like, they're shanties that are like 12 stories. I'm like, were there elevators in those? No, there's like ladders. You want to talk about civil unrest? Their healthcare system ain't the best in the world. Their cops, it depends on who's paying them, whose side they're on. The gangs. Brazil is facing unprecedented. Chris, just got confirmation from PayPal that transaction to your PayPal went through. We are back up and operating. The phone call this morning, Richard, was about that. She was panicked. She lives in Fort Lauderdale. She cannot get a test. The lady, and I want to be careful what I say, the lady who was very, 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 very close with this guy that Saturday night, still hasn't been tested, and she feels like she has a cold. This is firsthand, folks, or secondhand, since I talked to my friend who was there. There's your commit criteria for being bearish on Brazil. I went down to 17 because the EWZ hasn't seen 17 in 5 years. What can it go down to, Wiz? I was answering. Like, here's a typical text. This guy's been asking me for about 2 weeks in a row. Do you see a bump today? Do you see a bump today? Do you see the market going up today? I'm like, dude, maybe if the FDA approves a drug today out of the blue, but no, I expect another down day. How much further can we go down? Stocks can go to zero, bro. This is unprecedented. His brother, who manages his portfolio, just called me and, dude, you're panicking my brother and telling you may go to zero. Are you really serious? Do you guys not understand this? Stocks, ETFs can go to zero. That is a risk. I don't get people. And I'm done answering those type of texts. I drug deal with the guy for medical services and shit, but you guys come first. There's 17. My God, man, that's not even, markets take the elevator up and the escalator down, or no, escalator up, elevator down. This took the window down, taking the window down. So I bought those 17s. We'll get to the market right now. If you're worried about the market being a little up 150 points right now, choke yourself. You don't know what you're doing. Why are you getting in trades? If they start losing a little bit of money, you're going to freak out. You need to close your brokerage account, put your money in a mattress, and don't do anything. JW, that's why I got bullish on Regeneron, Moderna, and Gilead. I bought all those calls because I heard the similar rumor that the president might mention something about, hey, we're showing positive news on the vaccine front or something like that. The guy's looking for a freaking Hail Mary to bring the market up. Let's talk about stuff right now. So in 2008, remember this, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people sit there and go, money market funds, they're supposed to be have a minimum NAV, right? Net asset value of $1, right? We guarantee that our money market fund is insured and will always have a value of at least $1. Do you guys understand that? It can go below $1. If that happens, it's called breaking the buck. The Fed had to jump in 2008. There goes your rally, guys. The Fed had to jump in 2008 and prevent breaking the buck. Yeah, exactly, Shrek. If Trump had good news about a virus, he probably would have already tweeted it out by now to pump stocks up. I just don't know. And remember, let's just deviate for a second, because if we get some super pop on, we might be looking good for a vaccine. It's a year away. I will sell into every pop like this with both hands. Remember my 4 buy signals, folks. Somebody smarter than Trump uses the word containment, and I mean that. The dude has no idea what he's doing. Dr. Fauci, Dr. Gottlieb, smart person says the C word, buy. Smart person says the V word, vaccine, and it's not Trump. Somebody, Fauci, Gottlieb, or that company. Somebody smarter than Trump. Or the travel restrictions to China or Asia, or Europe ease. Those are your buy signals. But listen to me. The Fed stepping on this call this morning, the guys, again, big institutional call, big hedge fund guys. I've actually moved to the front of this briefing, which is funny. But I've lost track of the Fed actions in the past 24 hours. They literally, the water is up to here with the Federal Reserve, and it's official. It's like the guy's got a Gatling gun and it's out of ammo, and now he's got blanks, and he's just spinning the wheel in this Gatling gun to try and keep things afloat. He's out of bullets. Had a very tough phone call with a buddy of mine last night, calling again for stock advice, and I had to politely tell him I don't give stock advice. But he's like, dude, my restaurants are closed. I'm screwed, but my business interruption insurance, I'm glad I put that on a couple years ago. And I hate being the grim reaper here. Ladies and gentlemen, business interruption insurance is for if a dude drives his car through your restaurant, or a tree falls on it, or business interruption insurance does not cover pandemic or epidemics. You know, the acts of God on page 92? He's like, what are you shitting me? I'm like, it's the truth. What insurance company on the world would insure you against a pandemic that would kill millions? Not one of them. So now you want to talk. He's like, I'm going to fucking kill my insurance company. I'm like, dude, and here's what I can't stand about stupid people and socialism and everything like that. The reaction of, I think it was New Jersey. New Jersey's like, well, we're going to pass a law today that orders insurance companies to pay business interruption their claim for 30 days. Within 0.02 seconds of the governor signing that law, Wiz's insurance company goes, we're out of business. They don't have it. And remember, folks, there are investors in that insurance company. This doesn't just work where one side goes, suck on this. People like, well, I'm not going to pay my mortgage. That mortgage owner or your landlord has investors, or he was counting on that income. Now it's a cascading effect. That's why when you see this market, that's why it's cascading. There's no. I'm going to tell you again for the fifth day in a row, folks. There's no math right now. Thank Muhammad Al Aryan. He didn't do the Bill Ackman, oh my God, we're all going to die this morning, but he was measured when he said, because Goldman's out with, we might see a -5 GDP, and I'm lowering my, he's like, everybody, all of us smart financial people need to shut up about the future. There is no future to predict when you don't know the math. He's like, it is irresponsible of anybody in the financial world to start giving advice. We've never seen this before. Now, we'll get happy in a couple minutes here. Well, let me do a little bit right now. When, not if, we beat this thing, I hate using this sentence. I want to punch people in the face when I hear it. It will be the buying opportunity of the lifetime. I'm going to punch myself. That's the only time in my 28 years next month that I've been trading that I'm going to use that term. It's the truth. I can't freaking wait. Apple, Amazon, you name it, it's going to be disgusting. I believe the bounce higher will be double the bounce that we've imploded. Assuming, there's a big assumption here, man. We ain't in freaking anarchy, and I'm not kidding when I say that. Why am I not kidding? The city of brotherly love. My parents and my 4 upper brothers and sisters born in South Philly. I was born in South Jersey. Philadelphia police to delay arrest for non-violent crimes. They came out. This piece of shit police chief in Philadelphia posted a list of crimes where you will not get arrested for. This isn't The Onion, folks. This isn't sarcasm. New York City. Here it comes, folks. On Rikers Island, a literal hellhole. Hopefully it's Harvey Weinstein. Tested positive, and a corrections officer tested positive. If there's 2 of them at Rikers, there's 1,000. What did New York's police department announce, or the Department of Corrections? They're going to start releasing criminals from Rikers so they don't get them sick. This is like Batman, dude. This is like the Joker or the whatever the guy's name. They're letting criminals out in New York City, and in Philadelphia, they've told you what crimes you're not going to get arrested for. Do you guys understand what is going on? I showed you the extra boxes of ammo I got. I'm not messing around. There was a piece of shit lady in Palm Beach who lied about where she'd been lately and all sorts of stuff when she was doing some, I posted on Facebook. There are 6 Palm Beach firefighters under quarantine right now. I think they're thinking about charging her with a crime. She lied and might have got. So what happens, folks, when firefighters and the cops get it, let alone the doctors and the nurses, man? If you ain't strapped, you're going to get clapped. 20% unemployed. You see and again, I'm not trying to start a panic. I will never panic. I got enough guns, gold, cash, and supplies, and if I run out of any of those things, I know all the anti-Second Amendment gun nuts liberals in my neighborhood who will serve as my supplies. So I have to tell you, folks, that this go big or go. I get the. I mean, at a certain level, I'm starting to feel bad for the guy. He's completely lost. He effed it away though, and he will. This is his fault. Period. You guys know my rant on this. He knew 2 months ago what it was. I know people. I know for a fact that there were people there in my Rolodex. Bullshit. I know better than you. You guys saw the Atlantic article, what, 2 months ago, about when he went to the tank for the first time in the Pentagon with Mattis and everybody? Just more or less told them all they were stupid and there's a new way of doing business. Could you imagine after getting your phase one trade deal, you beat China into the dirt for 18 months, you get a phase one deal signed finally, and you're coasting to re-election. Stock's never been higher, unemployment never been lower, and you got some jackwad booger eaters telling you about this virus in China? He kissed Xi Jinping's ass up until this week, and now he looks like an idiot calling it the China virus. I know I'm not, but what are you? You guys started it. No, we didn't. You did. And now the liberals in the media are frothing at the mouth that he's using racist language. Guys, we'll get to trading in a minute, guys. Do not break up the flow of my brief, please, Joseph. I'll tell you about EWJ when I get to it. This is why we call it a brief, guys. I'd never sat in a brief in the military and as the dude's talking, gone, hey, I need you to talk about this. They would have thrown me out. Sit there and listen. Coronavirus pandemic to test the limits of how much debt the U.S. can bear. Ladies and gentlemen, it is physically impossible for the government of the United States of America to bail out everybody. There's no math. You can't go up to a chalkboard and do the math. It doesn't work. Sending people $1,000, Lindsey Graham's right. Sending people a check for $1,000 or $2,000 ain't going to do anything. Where are they going to spend it for the next 30 days when they're sitting in their home? Maybe Amazon, but this, ladies and gentlemen, should tell you, and you guys are smart enough because you're here. After I got furloughed on 9/11 and the airline got bailed out and didn't recall me, I said I will never rely on anybody again, especially Uncle fricking Sammy. But ladies and gentlemen, well, we'll talk Boeing in a couple of minutes. Going big right now might make people feel better, but I'm going to tell you, the president, quote, going big right now, it isn't big enough. You're going to need a bigger boat, is almost like how this pandemic is going to work. This, and we might see a bounce, people kind of rally, and then you're going to see that. It's going to look like the virus. Going big right now is going to do absolutely nothing at all. And bailing out a cruise ship industry that's flagged in Lesotho is bullshit. Cruise companies register in foreign countries so they can evade U.S. taxes. And now they want you, the taxpayer, to bail them out. How you feeling about that? Again, I go back to civil unrest. There is, and it's funny because Republicans who are supposed to be deficit hawks are like, it doesn't matter right now. We have to do whatever we can. You do know that the panic of do whatever we can is going to bankrupt the United States of America. And you ready for this? Do nothing. Here's the worst case scenario that I floated on this call this morning. I never thought I'd say this in my life. We will be Russia in 1991. Do you remember when they woke up one day and they were getting crushed under debt and they said, you know what? It's at zero. Here's a clean piece of paper. Anybody got a problem with that? We're going to kill you. You don't think that can happen here? I've been saying you don't think that can happen here for 2 months, and all of what I have said has happened. Those dollar bills in your wallet, folks, the full faith and credit of the United States, we go bankrupt. Oh, and by the way, 95% of all our medicine comes from China. And oh, by the way, who is the largest holder of our debt besides the Fed? China. We literally, folks, are in a war right now, and it ain't with a virus, it's with China. What would happen if Xi Jinping picked up the phone and said, hey, Donald, I need my $1.2 trillion. F you. I want my money for those treasuries back. Do you guys understand what is going on right here? Do you not think that that could happen? My panic doctor buddy in Boca. Stop telling my brother stocks can go to zero. Okay, I will stop talking to you. I'll fix that. It can happen. What else do we have here? And market enters a new phase where cash is all that matters, folks. Guys are liquidating left and right. Did you see what I posted on the Facebook page? I put this in our Afterburner thread last night. I love Jeffrey Gundlach. Jeffrey, you can count on one hand the number of people who predicted that not only would Hillary lose and Trump elects, but the market would rally. I said Trump will win the election. Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Citi, the day before the election. Hillary Clinton wins by double digits, and if Trump wins, the market crashes. There's your smart money, folks. I said not only does she lose, Trump wins, and the market rallies 20%. I got it wrong. What do you mean? It rallied 23%. Sorry about that. I was off by 3. Jeffrey Gundlach was the other guy that predicted this. Last night, and his tweets, you have to follow him on Twitter. He's like, dude, as if we needed more evidence of a liquidity squeeze crushing asset prices. Today I received panic offers of blue chip, though not all, trophy art at slashed prices. Can you believe that? The rich, folks. I lost it. I had so many articles up and doing so much shit, but there was, I think it was the CEO of NetJets or something like that. The rich are panicking and they can't fly them, essentially. The rich aren't escaping. Told you the other day I was in Chase, man. Old, people with very, very nice cars in Boca withdrawing tons of money. And Jeffrey Gundlach, again, I love the dude. I don't think government bailouts of over-leveraged companies that got leveraged via share buybacks at all-time highs, enriching executives and hedge fund investors, will sit well with the American people. God bless Jeffrey Gundlach. Love this guy. Actually, I'm going to put that, I got to put that on my Facebook page. Remember to do that. Speaking truth to power, baby. Hold on. Let me, I want to do that because, and unfortunately, man, I got a lot of airline buddies. Hey, man, I feel bad. Guess what? I got furloughed. You guys all understand that, it's these airline executives, when they bought back shares, ladies and gentlemen, when they bought back shares, why did they do that? When you buy your own shares, if you're the CEO of a company, what do you usually get paid on? Well, how the stock performs, Wiz. You know what you'd do if you were the CEO? You would buy back as many shares as you could, which artificially inflates the PE of the stock, and you get more money. I was furloughed. I went on. Folks, I was looking for it the other day. I can't find it. I saved it because I knew I would remember it. I wanted to remember that day. I filed for unemployment in the state of Texas. I was on unemployment, folks. I've gone from being on unemployment in the state of Texas to helping run a multi-billion-dollar firm. I've been at the bottom, folks, all the way down. But bailing out companies right now that got over-leveraged is not my responsibility. Oh, man, this thread, of course, is getting a ton of responses. And I get it, man. I mean, it's bad, but hey, man, from this, we're going to rise. Already talked about this. Monetary stimulus is failing. Everything the Fed does, it looks panic. Nearly 20% of households have already lost their job. Did you not see Mnuchin on Monday or whenever he ran up to the Capitol, say behind closed doors, and he denied it the next day. So I have to always put the other point out there. It was reported that Mnuchin said, if we don't get this bailout package passed and it's not ginormous, we will see 20% unemployment in America. That's when I ordered my fourth AR, told my son to go get more ammo. I'm like, if we see 20% unemployment, you will see civil unrest. Add 20% unemployment to New York cops being sick and letting prisoners out. This is Batman. If 20% of households are out of work already, what's going to happen in a month? We're locked down officially. We're officially on lockdown at Buckley de Casa. I almost beat the shit out of my son this morning. I woke up 5 o'clock getting on all my shit. His car's gone. He went to the beach. He went to see sunrise and go surfing. I'm like, I don't see anybody. Oh, Christ almighty. 20% already lost their jobs. And these are the guys, these booger eaters right here. Some top asset managers argue we should close the financial markets. Why? Because they're getting their ass handed to them, and F you, booger eater. That is your fault, not mine. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. Who was with me Tuesday? Was this Tuesday I briefed you on this article? It was March 17th. Yeah, it was like 8 years ago, but it was Tuesday. Traders bet on falling fear gauge. People were asking me like, dude, is it time to short volatility? We're where the VIX was in 2008. I'm like, are you retarded to short volatility right now? 2008 was a financial crisis. You can't leave your house right now. That ain't a financial crisis. That is it's because of a pandemic. Getting short volatility as the government, as the United States of America, we are going to grind to a halt. This is a risk, ladies and gentlemen, and I will say it for the 90th time this week, that markets close. If they do, that will be the end of this country. And I use those words very forcefully. It will be. Do you know how many Americans have their brokerage accounts right now? If they close those, if they seize, you want to talk about a run on banks? You want to talk about panic? I think Steve Mnuchin is doing a bang-up job, man. What a shit sandwich the guy has. But he has stressed repeatedly that we will keep financial markets open. They will stress that until they say breaking news, they're going to close. This is why you need to be in the afterburner group, man, because the second people that are going to know that are them, because I'm going to blast that out. And let me keep looking at all my shit as I'm. Oh, no, let me answer. That's interesting. Well, yep. Okay. That's exactly what I predicted was going to happen. Okay. Let's do review, baby. Love what is this? We are in. So somebody asked earlier, what's AYT&D stand for? I'll stop using it. This was analyze your trade and debrief. That was like the old name. I just call it the weekly debrief now. It's got its own portfolio, the weekly debrief portfolio, where it's kind of a catch-all for like all the other services. But what time is it? I can step through the other portfolios from weekly options to primary to accelerated retirement and look across the board. But let's take a look at what we just got in this portfolio. Let's see. We're filled on everything from today. My commit criteria for these so straight call buying, folks, Regeneron, Gilead, and Moderna. How are we looking in these? I had Gilead calls on already, the 75s. Whoa, sorry. That are up $14,000. Cha-ching. And whoa, these are the ones I put on this morning. They're up $3,500. 14 plus 35, that's 17.5. That was the afterburner service price 3 days ago. You're welcome. Already paid for. Regeneron, they're down a little bit. I don't care. They're out to April 3rd. These are, I hate using the term Hail Mary trades, but if there's going to be some sort of rally off of this bottom, it ain't going to be the government announces it's bailing out the airlines. That's not going to be a rally. I told you the rally will come from C or V words, containment or vaccine, and the vaccine is going to come from one of these guys, Gilead, Regeneron, or Moderna. These are essentially lottery ticket plays. One of these companies makes that type of announcement, the stock will be up 25 to 50% within seconds. You want to potentially make more money than somebody's made in a year or lost in the past month? There it is. Now, if that doesn't happen, there was risk. No risk, no reward. Risk, reward. You have got to come up with your own SOP, ladies and gentlemen, standard operating procedure. Trust me, man. I'm essentially running a hedge fund for you guys. Stevie Cohen at SAC Capital, he had a bunch of his lieutenants go to jail because they were out trying to do the Bud Fox Wall Street look into stuff. Trust me that I have feelers out, everybody does, to try and get into these biotech companies and see who's the closest, man. We got doctors. We got Doc Moore on the thread. I got a bunch of doctors. They're all, maybe the CDC blasts something out because these doctors get like these emergency emails and shit like that. I'm trying my best, man. You guys will, the first people to know will be afterburner traders. Second guys will be you. What else did we do today? EWZ. I've told you EWZ till I'm blue in the face. All right, now let's go top to bottom. Boeing. Oh, that's what I want to hear. Boeing. Yes. Do not. I talked yesterday or the other day. I said I might nibble at Boeing. The president, I think it was Tuesday, he said Boeing 20 times in his brief. I was joking when I said, maybe I wasn't. If we're playing the shot game with Boeing, every time the president said the word Boeing in that press conference, we'd be drunk. We'd be dead. Why? Why wouldn't you buy Boeing, Wiz? Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I don't even want to think about that, whoever just posted that. How about this, folks? Not only does China dump their treasuries to force us into default and bankruptcy, and they say, you know what, F you calling it the China flu. We're now not shipping you any of the medications that you produce here. Oh, and by the way, Donald, we have a vaccine. You want to talk about some freaky shit? You don't think dudes and ladies in uniforms in a big building are contingency planning around this? What if China has a vaccine? We aren't going to give it to you. You've offended our sensibilities by calling it the China flu. Shrek, that's how wars start, ladies and gentlemen. The Germans bombed Pearl Harbor, according to Senator Blutarski, on December 7th, because of oil. We're dealing with a pandemic, man. I'm not shitting you about this stuff, folks. Wake up. I wouldn't doubt it that they have a vaccine already. And folks, going off China numbers, you really trust China as far as I can throw them. They have allegedly done this, and then 0 new cases yesterday. Starbucks reopened their Wuhan Starbucks. If you believe all that stuff, okay, then if you believe China, ladies and gentlemen, we have a 2-month shit show in front of us. Karen told us on the Afterburner thread yesterday. She got off the phone with her friend from Veneto, Italy, or whatever. They've been in lockdown. You're not allowed to leave your house. There's no weddings or funerals. She said the churches in this town are stocked full of caskets and coffins and dead bodies. They can't bury them fast enough, and they aren't allowed to bury them. So, anyway, Boeing? What am I rambling about? Do not buy Boeing. Calls, stock. People really don't understand what's going on. Do you remember what happened when GM went out of business in the financial crisis? What did we do? Barack Hussein Obama saw a bunch of Democrat union members, so he bailed the company out. We bailed the company out. And then Obama, a couple weeks later, fired the CEO. I have no idea where he got that authority. Anyway, if you were a shareholder in GM, what happened to you? You got destroyed. Do you know how many people are in a conga line in front of you? You know who the last person to get any equity if something goes tits up is? It's a shareholder. All these idiots on my Facebook page going, I'd be buying Boeing right now. I'm like, I'll sell it to you with both hands. So we have the 115 puts on right now that are up 10 whatever grand. I am going to close these and take the profit. I'm going to go all the way up here. Ooh, 19,250. I'm going to close this. Why? They can wake up tomorrow and it chapter 11. Exactly. Asa, that's what has. So guess what the president did? This should have sparked a revolution in this country, but most people are stupid. The bondholder, you know who GM goes out of business? You know who the first people in line are that should have gotten their money back? Were General Motors people who held bonds. The president of the United States shit all over that and screwed the bondholders. Asa just said, my dad had 200 grand in General Motors bonds. That was America, folks. General Motors. Remember Lee Iacocca and all the America, buy America, America cars. That was the most American company in the world. That was the safest investment on God's green earth, was to be a bondholder in General Motors. And Barack Hussein Obama came in and said, you're at zero. Do not buy Boeing. Stay away from Boeing until I tell you to. Well, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to show you that I'm do it. You got it, Chris. Jeff, I remember when old GM shares were canceled. I was a broker, had to explain it to my folks. Yep. The impact of the trading floor and the NYC being closed is zero. There is absolutely no impact to trading for them closing the floor. You guys understand that everything's electronic now. The dudes on the floor right now are for show. The big TVs, it's marketing. There is not one reason, folks. When I went to Peak 6 Investments in Chicago in 2006, we still had about, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 dudes on the floor. They were off the floor by like, in 2007, options. There's no reason to have open outcry anymore. It's a dinosaur. It does not need to exist anymore. Okay. Greg, same thing. The VIX pit in Chicago and the S&P pit are still there yelling at each other. How many of you want to go into work as an SPX trader in Chicago and stand next to 20 stinky dudes? They should be closing the floors in Chicago too. They're not needed, folks. Open outcry is dead. Out of Boeing, filled for massive profit. EWJ, the Olympic Committee chairman or vice chairman in Japan is positive, has tested positive. Bank of Japan Governor Kuroda is in full panic like the Federal Reserve, and nothing is working. I expect EWJ to go down more. There goes the Dow, folks. We're already down 200 points. Told you. You've written this down, right? If you're new, every time you see a little green in this market, sell the shit out of it. Anybody who thinks that stocks were going up today or the market was going up today is a fool, man. Somebody's like, hey, the Dow's up 150 points. I'm like, sell the hell out of it. Mortgage the kid, the wives, get rid of everybody and sell it. There's no bottom here, guys. The bottom will come with panic, washed out, exhausted selling, a massive spike in volatility. We're starting to see that. Okay. Yeah, we might have a press briefing here in a little bit. I think at 11. Puts or spreads on EWJ? Absolutely no spreads right now, guys. So whoever just asked that missed the full throttle training the other night. Go watch the full throttle training, folks. Go watch the full throttle training on spreads. We did bullish spreads the other night. Do not do spreads in an environment like this. It makes absolutely zero sense. EWZ, I've already briefed it. Gilead. Look at where I am right now. I'm looking at 122% profit in these calls for 13 grand, and I'm hemming and hawing. I'm closing those. I got to stick to my SOP here, folks. What do I say with calls? If I can make 100% of my money, when did I put these on? Last week? Close them. Close. These Gilead calls. Take the money and run. This is what you need to be doing with massive profits in calls or put positions. Close them. Put on a little bit of new ones. Close. MGM, these were relatively new. These are the $9 puts. MGM and the casinos are rallying a little bit on potential bailout hopes. Okay. Yeah, folks. I love the smart people in the room that are pointing this out to me. I'm not ignoring you. I was getting to it. The market was up. The Dow was up 250 points a couple minutes ago, and the VIX is up. Write this down for all the new folks if you've never heard me say this. Market up, VIX up, something is up. Yes, I'll repeat that again. If the market is up, yay, and the VIX is up, boo, that tells you that something is up. Usually market up, VIX up means it's bullshit. Means it's a hold your nose rally, meaning it's coming down. Okay. Yeah, okay, knew that. Well, nope. Still not shutting down the federal government. Dude, I got a lot of heavies, man, in government, and they are stunned at the president. He should have. I thought this was happening earlier in the week. What the F is the guy waiting for? Everybody needs a shelter in place. Everybody needs no more than 10 people in a social setting. Everybody except the White House, the House, and the federal government. Midway closed the other night because the air traffic controllers were infected. I was about to have a Bill Ackman moment. Mr. President, shut the government down. If you shut the federal government down, people will shut down and shelter in place. You are risking people's lives, Mr. President. That guy is an idiot. I was the biggest. Well, you guys know you don't know my sister. My sister runs Dune Capital in New York. She was partners with the Treasury Secretary. When she got Woman of the Year, Google her name, Kia, her name's Cornelia, but my sister Monica, who was killed by a drunk driver, couldn't say my sister's name, Cornelia, growing up, so he called her Kia. My sister Kia got Woman of the Year of New York City. I had dinner with Steve Mnuchin, Governor Corzine, all these Goldman Sachs players and stuff like that. My sister knows Donald Trump very, very, very well. Go on my Instagram. You can see her she was hanging out in his box with him the whole time at the U.S. Open. It's on my Instagram. I'll keep some of that stuff private. Got to keep some stuff private. Folks, this is dead. Yeah, whoever just posted that, I heard the same thing. Nevada's closed for 30 days. All the casinos are closed. When you see a pop like this, folks, it is an opportunity to get long the puts. Why would Win be up 9%? Because a little birdie told me that most likely in 6 minutes they're going to talk about helping out. I'm getting my guns ready, man. If he announces bailing out the casinos and not the workers, you might see me reach through the screen. I'm a libertarian, man. I don't want any of this government intervention bullshit. But that ship already sailed, man. Entitlement. We have generations in this country who feel that they're entitled to stuff. I'm entitled to food stamps. Our founding fathers would go apeshit. Get back on your farm and take care of you and your family. I'm not responsible for that. I heard the whole Macau thing, but guys, reopening Macau casinos is putting a Band-Aid on a sucking chest wound. Let me stop rambling here. Here's the rest of the positions. Moderna, we briefed. Regeneron. I bought these disaster puts, or no, the 2400. Oh, I got to close these. These are for tomorrow. Wait, what's the 2400? Hold on, SPX. I haven't even looked at the SPX in a couple minutes. No, I'm keeping these. No. I'm not closing these. These are to tomorrow, folks. These are no. I got filled at these at the open. These are disaster puts. Remember, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, is quadruple witching. Quarterly options, these options, those options, futures contracts, oil. This is a perfect storm tomorrow in the market. This is the other reason I personally believe Trump isn't shutting down this stuff yet, is because Friday is going to be a shit show, a volatile day in the market anyway. Okay. Don, I've watched the full throttle videos and can't find anything that shows a step-by-step process of correctly closing or ejecting from a trade. Don, I'm not sure what that means. I've told you, here's the process, Don. Close. There's your checklist. If a trade hits your eject point and you went back to your commit criteria that you wrote down and they've changed, you close the trade. We could talk about it tonight, but I'm not sure what that question means. All right, I got to go. JT, source from Brazil, just told me the official number in the country is 428, but the real number is more like 50,000. Oh my God, man. Joe, for the 9,000th time in a training environment, I can only show a paper trading account. Otherwise, I'm giving investment advice, which is illegal. So most of the people out there that are doing that, first of all, are out of business, and second of all, are breaking the law. You cannot use a live account in front of people or it's giving investment advice. Been doing this for 10 years, and I will never break the law. I am actually getting screwed, Joe, as a matter of fact, because at the end of the day, I'm like, oh shit, let me go try and get into my account. You can't front run, folks. Most of the guys with those live accounts, guess what they do? Buy Apple. Give me 1,000 shares of Apple. Hey, all of my members, buy 1,000 shares of Apple. That's called front running, and that's also illegal. So the answer is no. All right. Robert, Prince Albert of Monaco just confirmed positive for COVID. The full throttle replays are going to be, they are on the full throttle page. You know what? Let me give you a little bit more value for the money you're underpaying. And I'm going to sit here and oh, panicking people. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to trade live with you guys and listen to this live together. I'm going to get up right now, and I'm going to go get a new cup of coffee, though. I'm not going to be answering questions. It's going to be okay. I'm going to watch this brief with you guys. Yeah, I'll put the yeah. If Trump's not appearing, guys, you know why Trump's not appearing? If he doesn't, you're welcome. Nobody ever bitch about price again at Top Gun Options, man. My God, somebody tried to again last night. I'm like, did you not hear me during the brief? The prices are going up. So all right, I'm getting a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. Everybody just hang out. I'm going to go check my emails and do some stuff, but I'll be here. We'll listen together. Chris, just got your stuff. I can add you. You're not another Air Force guy, are you? It's getting way, way too metrosexual in the Afterburner thread. Doc, what if you say panics people? Imagine what they will say when they have no job. Exactly. And they lose their house. This is getting, guys, there was no sound because I wasn't talking. Thank you. So I guess the president is supposed to speak. Trump expected to detail new virus therapies. That's breaking. I'm going to close my Gilead order and let it ride. Georgia or Greg, I just answered that question. I'm canceling that order. I'm going to hang on to it. Talk about what the markets are seeing this morning. Gentlemen, thanks for the time. Good to see you. Barry, covered your work for a long time, and you are looking at levels that typical recessions have given us, and then shorter shocks have given us, that are trying to almost split the difference. Can you talk about it? Yeah, we had said 2,300 plus or minus 250 is a range. Yesterday, we actually got 2,300 midpoint. But I'll tell you, Carl, I think we're very, very close to either powerful counter trend rally. Some of the things that I look at are the resistance of the VIX, the high yield spreads blowing out above the 2016. Another guy picking a bottom. Good luck, brother. As well as the defensive relative to cyclical sectors, which have gone parabolic and look like they're approaching levels that typically would indicate a peak. The other thing is the gold to oil ratio, which measures near-term deflationary pressure. So guys, remember guys, the one of my buy signals of just about everything with both hands is what? A V or a C word. It ain't going to be the C word. This isn't contained. This won't be contained for, it's not contained. All right, Frank, I'm hooking you up now. So yeah, you bet. Thinking the same thing. I would sell at that level. period. All right. Well, standard Donald Trump press conference. What time's the 11:07 press conference start? And remember, folks, even if we get a bounce right now, unless, and still, even if, here's what I think is going to happen. I ain't no freaking biotech expert or anything like this. I think maybe 15 years ago, I traded Gilead. Why? Because after I got done working, I worked with him when I was a business consultant out in San Diego, gave a big keynote and all sorts of shit. I'm like, wow, this is a pretty cool company. But it sounds like the president's just going to free up a lot of federal crap, red tape around getting this shit done, which might help these stocks, but it ain't helping what's about to happen to this. So. Elaine, antivirals are not working any better than Comfort Care. Exactly. Wiz, for all of those who don't get it, my son is in New York City and just joined TGO with me. Now that I've been in this for some years, Afterburner, we're hitting the nitro button. Thanks for your dedication to the truth and doing the right thing. You're welcome, man. You know what, let me go over to that's the weekly portfolio. Let me go over to weekly options. Let's go to the top of the batting order. PE. How can you get a P when there ain't no E? There's no earnings, man. Who was it on our Afterburner thread last night? Delta Airlines is parking 600 they're parking them. I have a buddy. He's like, I'm losing my job. It's clear. He flew a jet and parked it. No passengers and got off it. Craig, welcome aboard, man. Signed up for Lifetime last week and now Afterburner. Looking forward to a lifetime of rants. Goose, Wiz, can't thank you enough for being the flight leader here. Codex just came out with a quick test kit. 3-hour results. Expect case count to go up. The good thing about, you ready for this, guys? And here's some dark logic. I can't wait for the count to go up. Oh my God, what are you, Hitler? No, folks, you want testing and kits to go up because maybe the mortality rate ain't that high. Does that make sense? When you have this many infections and that many deaths, it sounds like the end of the world. That's why I ain't in super panic mode. The only super panic, I'm not worried about the virus, to be honest with you. People are going to die, man. That fucking sucks. But at the end of the day, the economic impact of this will kill more people than the virus. I heard somebody say that the other day. I'm like, I am stealing that. I absolutely believe that. The economic, oh, wait a minute. Hold on, guys. Speaking of, because I was just about to talk about veterans, please do me a favor. Stand by. Check this out. Here's what everybody's going to do right now. Everybody's going to do this. Or I'm going to reach through the screen. I finally got the damn web. All the social media is going live now. Now, the IRS is the IRS. And if he shuts down the government, I'm not getting anything done or approved. But go click like right now. Why did this come up? Because I'm like, veterans are getting screwed. 22 vets kill themselves a day. What about when you can't get seen at the VA because of coronavirus? Thank you, Jonathan. Go click like on this page, please. Please look at Anthony. Anthony, thank you. Start clicking like right now, please. We already, I strongly, Tavo, there's Tavo. Love you guys, man. Thank you, Anthony, Matthew, everybody. Awesome. Go there and click like. God almighty, man, I feel bad. So frazzled, I can't read straight. These guys are brothers. One guy's a plastic surgeon, one guy's an orthopedic surgeon, and the one guy manages the portfolio for both of them. And the other guy asked me, he's like, "How don't you see a bounce today?" I'm like, and he sent his brother, "Wiz said the markets are going to zero." I'm like, "Oh my God!" I said, "Doc," I said the word stock. A stock can go to zero. I ain't using enough of their plastic surgery to actually, I'm not doing it at all. Oh, you know what? I forgot I'm speaking at 3:00 today at some stupid multi-speaker event. Anybody want to go to that? Actually, you should. I mean, I go. It's in the chat box, guys. I put the link in the chat box. You should be able to click on it. There's Shrek. Hell, man, even a Marine can figure out how to click the like button. We got a couple Marines here. There's a Harrier guy running around here too. Yeah, it's funny. You know the guy never served in the military. His briefs don't start on time. Wasn't the biggest George Bush fan, but all right, weekly options. But the guy knew how to brief on time. Apple, Carnival Cruise Lines. I'm going to get out of these 13s for tomorrow. Holy shit, man. 284%. $27,000. There's your afterburner trading and $7,000 to go party this weekend in your house. Closing the Carnival Cruise Line puts. Jeffrey. That's awesome. I hit $2 million in profit yesterday. Where's Ann? Ann, are you in here? Can you share what you shared with me on the phone yesterday? I called Ann because she's like, "I'm not on the afterburner thread." I'm like, "It's an app." Oh, sorry. She's like, "Hey, man, I got to tell you this. I can block out your last name if you want, Ann, but EWZ, I'm staying in. JetBlue. You know what? Somebody asked about Delta earlier. I didn't ignore you. Holy shit, man. I'm getting a screenshot of this. Anybody want to take a look at what I told you 4 weeks ago? Look at 4 weeks ago what I told you to do, man. Where is it? Vail Mountain Resorts. 545% profit. $80,000. There's Ann. Ann, where are you? San Diego? This is Ann. She's a lifetime member now and afterburner. There's Ann. Started with $400K. She has $3.7 million. And the best part about it, Ann, you know what's going to happen when we rebound? I'm not going to say double. I'm not going to give you an up. Let's say this. Your upside is unlimited. When we snap, when we get out of this shit show, isn't that fantastic, ladies and gentlemen? God bless you, Ann. Thomas. Ann, are you single? Elaine, yes, you can. Elaine's saying good profit, can't get out of mountain. How can you get out of mountain, folks? There's somebody on the other side. Look at this smoking hot secretary delivering my coffee. How can you get out, Gary? Ann, Ann said her husband loves her more every day. I would too. Jonathan, Top Gun dating. So folks, so Elaine, let's get back to you. Can you get out of mountain? The answer is yes. You might not get out of it for 79 grand in profit. It might be 75, 70. You're going to have to render on the Caesar. What is Caesar's? You're not going to get out at that. Somebody's going to make you meet them in the middle. You absolutely can get out of a trade. Somebody asked that in the ready room the other day. I can't, you know what? There's a price, folks. This is a market. You can absolutely get out of a position It just depends on what you want to pay or receive. Does that make sense? Thomas, I don't blame her husband. You got it. That's exactly right, Fish. You can hit the bid or the ask and get out of it. Regeneron up 20%. Nice. You're welcome. Let me finish in here. Apple, Moderna. I'm holding those. All right, this is weekly options. How we doing? How you doing? Year to date, $440,000. This is one portfolio. Tamara, I'm one of your little old ladies in sneakers making money. Oh, wait, Tamara's single, folks. She lives in Wisconsin, though. Are you shitting me, Dave? Matt, I went from 258 grand to $1.6 million in the last 4 weeks. Tamara, Christina is asking if you can adopt her. Jesus Christ, folks. God bless America. God bless Wiz. Hey, man, I could not be happier for you guys. 258 to 1.6. 258 to 1.6 million. I got to be honest with you guys, man. People who didn't listen deserve everything bad that's going to happen to them. That's the way Darwinism works. I went Paul Revere on this thing 2 months ago. My Donald Trump's going to win the election and market rally seems like a stupid call compared on 2 months ago saying, holy shit, guys, we're in a world of trouble. Let me go through these. Thanks for the tourniquet. My hedge fund has stopped bleeding. All right, you're welcome. Yeah, the Stephanie, Christine, you're down in Australia, aren't you? I got to figure out. I got to figure out how to add you to the Afterburner thread. I think I just add a country code. You know, Graham's down there. We got a bunch of Aussies. Graham, I meant to tell you that one of my best friends from Flying Hornets, Shrek, you still in here? Do you know Chili Hesford? He was an instructor with me in the sharpshooters. He's down in Australia. There you go. He's down in I don't know where he is in Australia, but he's down in Australia. So we got a big Australian chapter brewing here. Como orders 75% of non-essential workers to stay home as cases surge to 4,200. Graham, I'll hook you guys up via email. We got a huge network of people starting to reach out and hang out with each other. This is fantastic. What was I doing here? I'm going over to, I did weekly options. Let me go over to primary. Primary is Susie and Wiz. This is something weird's going on, guys. This is a teetering moment. We're either getting really good news or it's going to be a letdown. Yeah, we can start. Yeah, start a thread in the rotary room, man. Where my Aussies at? Here's the primary portfolio. Let's run through it top to bottom. George, you can feel it. Gary just said you can feel. Yeah, Regeneron up 33%. Steve, Regeneron just paid for afterburner. Dude, shoot me proof of a wire. We'll get you in the afterburner. This is a great thread, man. Because I don't want to do this all day. I'm hanging for the press conference. I do not want to sit here all day. I'm going to go work out. Thank God my son, they both play hockey. They ordered a gym like 6 months ago to put into the garage. I got a gym in the garage. I'm going to go for a run. and maybe trade the close. I cannot sit here all day. I'd rather get my teeth drilled. Yeah, the black eye in the primary portfolio are these disaster puts. But I'm going to again say to you that listen to me. Tomorrow being a quad expiration of everything could be a ginormous shit show tomorrow. I don't care if he comes out right now and says it's a vaccine, because remember, as this market's been going down, people have been starting to do the holy crap, I better start preparing for it to go around. And if there's a snapback, they're screwed. So that's I got guys that are like half pregnant with stuff like, well, if I do this, then that happens. So even if we get whatever Trump's going to say is good news today, it can be completely unwound tomorrow with volatility. Does that make sense? Oh, Gary, trust me, I got my my honey-do list. I got my closets I'm going to clean out. James, closed Gilead calls for 115% profit. Guys, do me a favor, spread the word, and spread the word quick, because we're most likely doubling that full throttle max to $49.95 a year. Let's go to Accelerate. What's AR? Accelerate Retirement is 3,800. Let me go log into 3,800, see how that account's doing. Dow's up 200. Maybe we are going to get something out of Trump about the Wall Street. You have got to be a subscriber to the Journal, man. Just don't listen to me for all your news. I got an alert on that. Spider, I'm looking on the thread here. Why is anything up right now? Potentially the president's going to say something good. 2,300 puts. So I'm red in Accelerated Retirement on these things, but again, I don't care about being red on S&P 500 puts. Those are my ejection seats, guys. I am hanging in my ejection seats. I do not look at losing money on puts on the S&P 500 now as losing money on puts. Oh yeah, let me find the link for the 3 o'clock thing. Hold on, let me go to my emails. Oops. That's what's going to happen here, guys. At this brief is they're going to come up with good news about we're freeing up the red tape for them to test more and do more scientific stuff. I don't think they're coming out with a V word today. You would have already heard it. Like Shrek said earlier, that dude would have been on Twitter with, before somebody even told him like it's not confirmed or anything like that. What the hell account was that? Hold on. And the wrong account up. 23. To primary, 2,300. 4,700. No. Regeneron is exploding. You're welcome. Yeah. Well, if you don't get in by tomorrow at the closing bell, it'll be 20 grand. So yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely. One trade, man. Now, where the fuck? 23. $23.55. TGP. 4,700. I can't stand when the president does this. Just sent invites to a dozen Navy brothers to the foundation page. Thank you, man. Cruiser up 60% in Regeneron. Sweet. again, if you logged in 30 minutes early, you got all this stuff. If you were on the Afterburner thread, you got it this morning, fresh off the press. I said, I can take a screenshot and show it to you. I said I am adding and buying or adding new positions in Gilead, Regeneron, and whatchamacallit, TGO Primary, Susie and Wiz. Any reason Amazon is up to 100? I'm not even going to say the word Amazon because people were bitching that I talked about Amazon outside of the solo Amazon service, so I'm not talking about Amazon except to those folks. That's got to want to go. Red, all Top Gun options services are included in Lifetime. The Afterburner trading is through Strike Fighter Financial. No, the text thread is not. Been briefing that all week, man. It's through Strike Fighter Financial. Thomas, all I could buy was one Regeneron, but glad you did. Exactly, man. Even one contract, folks, can do an incredible amount of work. Uzi and Wiz. If this guy doesn't come on soon, well, I'll hang out, man, because I'm going to go for a run. Looks like we got some good news here. Jeff, by the way, hitting $2 million put me over a 500% gain for this year so far, and we're only 3 months out. 2-minute trick? All right. Baruch, I think I said that 9 times this brief. As the market goes up, I would buy more S&P 500 puts. Donald J. Folks, this hasn't started yet, ladies and gentlemen. This hasn't started. We haven't even started affections and everything. It's getting horrific, guys. We'll get a little bit of a relief rally with whatever this is. Given FDA relief or companies relief to test shit, yay. Okay. Bill, I did not have success with the VA, man. I haven't even had time to tell you guys about that shit because I'm beside myself. Here, I don't know who this guy is, Sean. I tried to sign up for your 7-day trial. We aren't allowing trials now. Here's what I want is somebody to pay $14 to come in here and get information that can make them 14 grand. We aren't allowing trials. My God, man. I love people. Two minutes in Trump world. All right, well, at least there's people on the stage. Hello?
Do not use my name, but Full Throttle Max, do I not get SMS? You do get SMS alerts. I sent one out this morning along with an email. You registered for it. I watched the videos. Maybe I missed it. Nope. I sent out a text and an email alert this morning. You do not get the text mess. This isn't a text thread, folks. This is a group me. Thomas, my 401k is up 226% in a little over 3 weeks. Nice. Folks, yeah, getting text alerts from the regular Full Throttle briefs is not Afterburner. No. Well, what do you think he's going to say? All right, I'll talk to you in a couple of minutes.
Austin Tice, and we're working very hard with Syria to get him out. We hope the Syrian government will do that. Only them to do that. We've written a letter just recently. It's been there for a long time, and long ago. Austin Tice, his mother's probably watching, and she's a great lady, and we're doing the best we can. So Syria, please work with us, and we would appreciate you letting them out. If you think about what we've done, we've gotten rid of the ISIS caliphate. Syria, we've done a lot for Syria. We have to see if they're going to do this. So it would be very much appreciated if they would let Austin Tice out immediately. And you know, my administration is working every day to protect American people and the American economy from the virus. Yesterday, I signed into law critical support for American workers, families, and small businesses. Big thing. We're providing sick leave and family medical leave to those affected by the virus, and more help is on the way as we speak. Our entire team, headed by Secretary Mnuchin, is on the Hill. We're working with Democrats and Republicans, and there's a lot of goodwill going on. This was something that happened that was, some people would say, an act of God. I don't view it as an act of God. I would view it as
An act of China.
Surprise.
Say it.
The whole world. And if people would have known about it, it could have been stopped in place.
Ooh, there you go.
It could have been stopped right where it came from, China.
It's too late, Trump.
The whole world almost is inflicted with this horrible virus, and it's too bad. It's too bad because we never had an economy as good as the economy we had just a few weeks ago.
It is too bad. It's heartbreaking, dude.
Actually, we will be back stronger than ever before because we learned a lot during this period of time. I also just invoked the Defense Production Act to help facilitate distribution of essential supplies if necessary. We're working with Congress to provide major additional relief to the workers, small businesses, and the hardest hit industries. We want to make sure that everybody is able to continue on.
Hey, Slash, I got your email. I'm sending you wire instructions now.
Great businesses, both very, very small and very, very large, are not going to be broken up, and you'd have to put them back together. That would take a long time because we really believe I believe in the V curve. I believe it's going to go when this is defeated. This hidden scourge is defeated. I think we're going to go up very rapidly, our economy, and get back to where it was and beyond. Today, I want to share with you exciting progress that the FDA is making with the private sector.
Here it comes.
Like nobody has ever done it before. Somebody was on yesterday on one of the networks and said that there's never been a president even close that's been able to do what.
Stop fucking talking about yourself.
Things to the market, medical. So So we slashed red tape to develop vaccines and therapies as
Worse than a fighter pilot.
It can possibly be done long before anybody else was even thinking about doing this. As you know, earlier this week, we began the first clinical trial of a vaccine candidate for the virus, and it was launched in record time. It was just a few weeks, and that would have taken years to do, not so long ago. As we race to develop the vaccine, we're also pursuing antiviral therapies, and that's what really we're going to be talking to you about today. That's the purpose of being up here today. And to me, that's even more important. The vaccine, by its nature, you have to have long tests because you have to make sure what goes into somebody's body is not going to.
Remember, guys,
destruction.
this is all good news. It isn't good news. This is all like, this better be going on, or it's Planet of the Apes. The guys behind him and the ladies behind him, when they come up to talk, it's going to be bad. So I'm not telling you to day trade. I'm not telling you what to do or anything like that, but none of this that he's talking about, trying to find a cure, is going to fix 20% unemployment. So remember this. No, well, guess what I'm hearing, folks? I got half my limousine liberal friends aren't limousine liberals anymore. Andrew Cuomo, governor of New York, who's trying to do a bang-up job, would run as Biden's running mate. And Cuomo's been complimenting Trump lately, so he's going for that middle of the road political stuff. We can talk about that over a beer. You heard it here first. Cuomo on the ticket with Biden. Yay.
That were unnecessary. And they've done that to get the rapid deployment of safe, effective treatments. And we think we have some good answers.
Alan, I know he said a woman, but you want to win. It's pretty funny for a party that doesn't believe that gender exists. They go out of their way to say gender exists. I thought it was fluid and a social construct. We need a woman as a vice president. How dare you assume my gender?
To know which medicines are safe and which medicines are working the best. So we have a couple that we're in really good shape on. And that's for immediate delivery. Immediate, like as fast as we can get it. The FDA has also approved compassionate use for a significant number of patients. You know what that means. We're also reviewing drugs that are approved abroad or drugs approved here for other uses. And you know, one of the things that I'm most proud of that I got was right to try. That's where somebody who's ill, somebody who's very sick, terminally ill usually. In past administrations, we signed this a year and a half ago, you wouldn't be able to even think about getting any of the drugs that may be showing great promise now. And they've been taught for many decades to get this approved. And it sounds simple, but it's not, because there's liability involved. Lots of them.
Oh my God, dude, get to it.
Congress, right to try. This is beyond right to try. What we're talking about today is beyond right to try. Right to try has been, by the way, tremendous success. People are living now that had no chance of living. Where we take treatments that would things that would have to go through years of a process. And if somebody was terminally ill, I would say, why wouldn't they be able to try this? They'd go to Asia, they'd go to Europe, they'd go all over the world to try and find something. Or some people, if they have no money, would go home to die.
God almighty, man. For the love of God, Mr. President. Now I feel the peak. You ready? This is nearly 3,000 hours in an F-18, seat of the pants. Sell this right now. Now. If this is the good news of the day, that's the rally. You just saw it. and you lived it with me, I'd be buying puts with both hands right now on just about everything. Hang on.
Some people would add to it hydroxychloroquine.
I love when he enunciates.
Hydroxychloroquine. Now, this is a common malaria drug. It's also a drug used for strong arthritis. Somebody has pretty serious arthritis. Also uses.
Somebody wants to do both.
In different forms. And it's shown very encouraging.
You got it, Seth. None of this is new. I mean, I would have thought all of this stuff would have been done or was being done or done already. Jesus. Stop using the words almost immediately or right now. Steve Mnuchin looks like a jackwad. We need cash in people's hands now. When's now? 2 weeks. Next question. 2 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what happens in 2 weeks? 1-2, April 1st, and it ain't April's Fool. People ain't paying mortgages or rent. The market will implode. 2 weeks.
So I think there's tremendous promise based on the results and other tests.
Third congressman test positive. They haven't shut the Capitol. They're telling you not to congregate more than groups of 10 people or leave your house, and they're doing this.
By prescription, individual states will handle it.
On the screen, Gilead, Regeneron. It's like shooting fish in a barrel, man.
Then we're quickly studying this drug, and while we're continuing to study it, but the studying is going to be also done as it's given out to large groups of people, perhaps in New York and other places. We'll study it there. There are
No, Chris. Nope.
therapies produced
Nothing else.
Gilead, that's remdesivir.
Oh, geez.
Remdesivir. It's a drug used for other purposes. It's been out.
Big words hurt.
It's had very good results for other purposes, but it seems to have a very good result having to do with this virus.
Shrek. Wow, I didn't know it was going to be big and great very, very soon.
Approved or very close to approved in that case by the FDA.
Go Gilead.
We appreciate what the FDA, these people are incredible patriots, and the job that Stephen Hahn is doing. He's one of the most respected doctors in the country, by the way. We took him.
Seriously, folks, if this is the good news of the day rally, it's going to smash. Unless Pence gets up or somebody behind him gets up with better news, there's nothing. This. And he's got to shoot his makeup artist. I mean, he does. He looks like an orange raccoon. I don't like using the term orange man, but come on. I mean, it just kind of looks silly at a certain point. Gilead up 7% right now.
Some other things, great company, and they're looking at some very promising events.
Patrick, you just called Gilead Patriots. I love this company. Been with them for 13 years, bro. Good stuff. Awesome. Somebody please get the hook.
So those are two that are out now, essentially approved for prescription.
Regeneron up 5%.
I think it's going to be very exciting. I think it could be a game changer, and maybe not.
Oh,
Based on what I see, it could be a game changer. Very powerful. So I want every American to know that we're doing everything we can. These actions are important next steps. For the FDA to act the way they acted with this kind of speed is an incredible thing.
with this kind of speed, the FDA acting with this kind of speed. We're in a pandemic, and this was speed. 2 weeks ago, we said this was going to happen. 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago.
Based on the fact that it's been used for other things, totally unrelated. We believe these therapeutics and others are evaluated.
Now, guys, listen to me. He's done. We'll go listen to somebody smarter in a second. When these things pop like this, Jeannie, okay. Welcome, Jeannie. What am I looking at? Oh, listen, Gilead. Look at the volatility in these names, guys. Dump it. Dump it in a couple minutes, and it's going to do this. He didn't say the V word or the C word. Get out of it. Take the money and run. Close your calls in all those names, period. And we'll get back in. Roland, taking profits on Moderna, 4K, Wiz, thanks. Great call. You're welcome. Take the profits, guys. Pigs get slaughtered. You're welcome. With those names today, you just paid for potentially Afterburner going up to 20 grand tomorrow.
Most importantly, the American public has been incredible. We took the best economy we've ever had, and we said, stop, you can't work, you have to stay home. You know, there's never been a case like this. Normally you pay a lot of money to get things going. Here's a case where we're paying a lot of money to stop things because we don't want people. So that this.
Oops, sorry. I was talking about Gilead, and you guys weren't even seeing my screen. That was stupid. Here. Hey, good news. Okay. Good news. Okay. Great news. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Take the profit. It was up 7% a couple minutes ago. I would close them. Take the money and run. That was it from the president, man.
These two very important drugs.
Wow.
Thank you for your leadership during this coronavirus outbreak.
Yeah, take the money, guys. You're welcome. That was it?
So before the president nominated me and I was confirmed Commissioner for the Drugs, I was a cancer doctor.
Los Angeles County releasing some inmates to combat coronavirus.
Talked to them about their diagnosis and treatment. One thing that was really important is to provide hope. I have great hope for how we're going to come out of this situation. What's also important is not to provide false hope, but to provide hope. And as a doctor, that's the way I look into this. I'm speaking now to the American people as Commissioner of Food and Drugs, but that part of me has not left. Just look at the way the American people have responded to our calls for mitigation, social distancing. The American people have great resiliency, and I'm so incredibly proud of how the American people have responded. As the President mentioned, he asked us to be aggressive, to break down barriers to innovation, and to accelerate the development of life-saving treatments. And we're doing that with the FDA. The FDA is committed to continuing to provide regulatory flexibility and guidance. But let me make one thing clear. FDA's responsibility to the American people is to ensure that products are safe and effective. And we are continuing to do that. Our folks, and they are tremendous professionals, are working day and night to do this. Just can't even imagine how much they're working to provide this support for the American people. And I love that. Since early January, long before the first domestic case, FDA began working in collaboration with CDC. I also want to note that we stood up an incident command group and have been focused on the coronavirus since the very beginning of this outbreak.
Guys, this is the best you're going to get. This is the best news of the day. There's your rally.
An important part of that work is expanding the potential therapeutic options associated with coronavirus, and we've learned.
That's about it, man.
Global about this, but I want to focus on one thing. As a have unbelievable influence. We have people who every day it's their job to develop treatments for all sorts of diseases. We are incredibly blessed as a country. And this is true in any illness. These great American innovators, academia, private sector, they have engaged us about the best possible treatment options. We are looking at everything that's coming across our desk as possible treatment options for coronavirus. And we're extremely encouraged by the interest and the promise that we've seen from these great American innovators. Now again, we need to look at it, we need the data, we need the information to make the absolute best decisions for American people. But I want to assure you, we have over 17,000 people at FDA who are doing this every day. We need to make sure that the sea of new treatments will get the right drug to the right patient at the right dosage at the right time. As an example, we may have the right drug, may not be in the appropriate dosage for it right now.
Yeah, this isn't anything, man. This is a perfect opportunity to be selling into this, guys.
At the same time, we're also working through different mechanisms to actually get drugs into the hands of providers and patients. I mentioned this, but one of the mechanisms is called compassionate use. We just talked about this. If there's an experimental drug that's potentially available, a doctor could ask for that drug to be used in a patient. We have criteria for that and very speedy approval for that.
Yeah, this isn't. I mean, we can hang out a little bit more. I mean, I have a ton of stuff and people to talk to, but this isn't. This doesn't do. This isn't anything. Could not agree more with you. Sell lightly into this and go work out. Enjoy your day. Exactly. This is boring, guys. Yeah, you can show up to the 3. Oh, I keep forgetting to give you that link. Let me give you the link to the 3 o'clock. Germany's on FedEx on the way to Germany to pick up medicine. Wow. So that was it. I didn't even get out of these in a damn portfolio. I've been telling you to do it. Look at that. I told you 5 to 10 minutes ago, get out of GILD, get out of everything. That was it. It's going now. You missed the 7% pop, or I did. If you listen to me, guys, you printed money. That was stupid. See, this is what I do throughout the day. I don't even get to grab my phone and do any of this shit for myself. It blows. Yeah, you bet, man. Got my Shrikes shirt on. So that sucked. If I could have, across these portfolios, I would have done what I just told everybody live to do. That's why you need to be on this. And that is a shame. No, it's a shame plug, not shameless. You got to be on this thread because that's what's going on live over there. Yeah, this isn't even a nothing burger. It's a ketchup sandwich right now. All right. Yeah, this is boring. So here's what I think is going to happen because I'm done sitting here. I've been here since 5 a.m. and I'm getting up. This rally is going to rally. This rally is, well, I guess I can call it a rally. It's going to fade. This was nothing, and we're going lower. Tomorrow is quad witching, and it's going to be extremely volatile. So grab some popcorn and enjoy. Oh, you guys got an email already for 3 o'clock. Good. Okay. That sucks. So I'm done. I'm going to go for a run, go work out in the garage, and I'll be back for the 3 o'clock brief. And I'll be on the afterburner thread here in a little bit, but I'm taking a break. Been here since 5 a.m. That was it, man. And I read you the text that I sent to my Dr. Boca. Do you see a bounce today? He's been sending that to me for 3 weeks straight every day. And today I said, if we get a FDA or good news announcement out of the biotech stuff, and we did. So we nailed that today too. Yeah, you bet. Shoot me an email and I'll send you the wire instructions. $20,000 tomorrow. You can get it for $17,500 now. It's going up to 20 grand. I got to start weaning. We got to wean people out of this stuff. It's paid for itself 20 times this week. The 2 SPX trades we did earlier in the week, they were up 75 at one point, closed at $65,000. So, yeah, just shoot me an email. I'll shoot you the wire instructions, and we'll be good to go. All right, guys, that's it. Fade this thing, and be safe. God, be safe. Don't socialize with people, man. I can't. the whole do as you say, do as I say, not as I do thing is a disgrace in Washington. Shut it down, Mr. President. He's still waiting to sit there with his Nancy Pelosi impeachment pen and sign this big bailout bill and then lessen, the closure of the government by giving all this stimulus. I think that's what he's trying to do, is do the whole, all right, we're leaving, we're shutting this thing down, but here's a big chunk of money. It's not going to do any good. This thing's going to rip through the country. We'll get through it, but it's going to get very, very worse. What would you buy now? JP, seriously. All right, guys, that's it. I'm out. I'll see a lot of you at 3 o'clock if you want to come. Otherwise, I'm done. Fridays, I'll be on the afterburner thread, and that's it. Other than that, I'll see you Monday for weekly options brief. I will probably over the weekend shoot a couple extra sit reps or market intel briefs. Chris, as soon as I get off, man, the 4 people that Susie just gave me your names, we're really high tech here at Top Gun Options with everything that's flying around. Chris, you're on here. I have to figure out your whole Australia country code and get you on the thread, but I got it. Okay. I don't have the link for today, guys. It's in your email inbox. It's somewhere in here. I can't dig for it. Oh, here it is. Is this it? Yeah, this is it right here. There's a bunch of people talking about oil and stuff like that. Here it is. You're welcome, Matt. I am honored and humbled that you guys are here. I'd be doing this by myself. I'd be having a blast. I'm just glad I get to do it with all you guys. So there it is. It's in the chat box. Okay. Or just check your email. Okay. And that's, yeah, go ahead and click it. I won't close the room until you guys click it. There's the Dow. The Dow was up 300 points. Now we're down to 150. Told you to sell the rally, guys. Get on the afterburner thread. I talk through this thing live. Everybody else in full throttle stuff, we'll do it in these briefs. And I went 2 hours today. That's it. God bless. See you Monday.